The woman who made the ThighMaster so popular, Suzanne Somers, has died at the age of 76 years old. You are never, well, if you're not familiar, how about here's the original iconic ThighMaster commercial.
Great legs.
Thank you.
How do you get them?
I used to do aerobics till I dropped. Then I found ThighMaster. Every single time you squeeze ThighMaster, you strengthen and tone right where you need it. So it's easy to squeeze your way to shapely hips and thighs.
I thought I'd never fit into these jeans again. Thank you, ThighMaster.
I recommend it and use it.
The secret to shapely thighs is exercising these muscles with just the right resistance. This balanced resistance coil is designed to give you results quickly and comfortably. Want to tone your upper chest and arms? ThighMaster will give you excellent results. ThighMaster. We may not have been born with great legs, but now we can look like we were.
Did it work like we were?
It did work. I think every family I know had a
There's a
ThighMaster
ThighMaster
growing
in our
up.
house, yeah.
100%.
And it's like it's cheap. I mean, it probably they made it for nothing.
For nothing. I think you can buy them for $9.99 on Amazon right now if
Oh,
you
really?
want one. Yep, for the ThighMaster. And it just looks like there's a spring in the center, and then there's two arms that come out, and you just put it in between your thighs and squeeze.
It was like
And
the
I think back
simplest
then,
technology.
back then I think it sold for like $19.99,
It might have,
which
yeah.
was probably like $50-$60
Right
nowadays.
now, yeah.
Yes, which should not surprise you that Suzanne Somers made an incredible amount of money off of ThighMaster.
I use the ThighMaster every day of my life. I do 50 in the morning, 50 mid-afternoon, and 50 while I'm lying in bed at night. And I could crack walnuts with my thighs. I live a good life. And 1995 times 10 million. So kind of do the math, and we're probably at 15 million now. We had partners 50-50, and they got drunk on money when it all started selling, and they overspent to the point where they could no longer afford to be in their side of the business. So we bought them out. We have 100%.
So the estimation is what, $300 million?
$300 million from
She
ThighMaster.
and she didn't invent it, right? She's just a spokesperson.
No, I think she just was the spokesperson. Yeah,
Wow.
eventually
How much
she owned
did
it.
she
But
make?
300. They think she took home $300 million.
Yeah.
Herself?
Yeah.
Above and beyond?
That's
Dang.
great.
Oh, what an endorsement.
for this
Wow.
spring-loaded thing that
Right.
you just, you know what I mean?
Man.
Wow.
What a great idea.
Well, when
Yes.
she was always when she was on the show Three's Company, she was always the girl that I mean, back then I'd probably be canceled the show now. She would be coming out very she played the dumb blonde on the show, and she would come out with been very risque,
Tight.
no bra,
Low cut. Yeah.
like very ditzy, very almost a slutty type look. And, yeah.
Well, and she did play Chrissy on Three's Company, and it's really interesting because Suzanne Somers worked with John Ritter, who was on Three's Company, and then Joyce Joyce. Anyway, Three's Company. There were three of them. I know two of them for sure. But
Didn't Barney went in on there too? From
Barney Fife was on
Don
there
Knotts.
too. Yeah, he was
He's
the landlord.
hilarious. They switched characters on that show. Like Don Knotts wasn't always on it, or he died. And then
right.
Chrissy replaced somebody, or somebody replaced Chrissy.
Well, you want to know why somebody replaced Chrissy? It's because at the time, Suzanne Somers, and she'll explain, went in to ask for a raise, and she learned a very valuable lesson, she says.
It was year 6, and my contract is now up. I want you to pay me what you're paying the men. And I say to John and Joyce at the end of the season before, my contract's up. You two have already renegotiated. I'm going to ask for big money and a piece of the back end. And if you two back me up because we have favored nations, we'll all get it. So I'll be the patsy. In the morning when my husband had left for this meeting, he said, this could all blow out of the water. And I said, they're not going to get rid of Chrissy. Never think that you're not replaceable. Rule number 1.
Yeah, that's always a sobering reminder.
they did.
She was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy that she didn't get the money like the guy, because I believe like John Ritter and stuff, because she was, when her character is one of the most popular characters of that show.
You would think.
And that particular, and who was the girl that replaced her? I can't remember.
Oh,
It was another, Chrissy wasn't even on it for that long. Because of
was
this.
it Wendy Winters? I don't know. I'm
What?
making names.
I don't know
I'm
what
talking
she
Suzanne
looks like.
Summers. I don't know. I'm doing a dumb joke.
Priscilla Barnes.
I forgot what she
Yeah.
looks like, but
Not
you
a
know what I'm
big-
saying?
big
It's like
star,
Yeah.
they took the most popular character and changed it, but it was different then. You had like three television stations to watch shows from, so you're kind of forced to I think now that could be devastating.
Oh no,
For sure.
Even then, it could have been devastating. I mean, it could have hurt the ratings.
Yeah.
I don't know if it did or not.
I'm not sure if it did.
But
It's
now
yeah.
you definitely, with all the choices, and you mess with the main character.
And I think easily they didn't like capitalize on the advertising like they do now. Like every aspect of advertising is so big that they didn't do that back then. So the money wasn't as much in general.
Yeah, they say that, let's see, after Suzanne Somers' contract was not renewed, Chrissy from the show, her place in the apartment was taken by her clumsy cousin, Cindy Snow. And then
I remember.
another replacement came along, Terry. A clever,
I
sometimes
remember her.
sassy nurse joined the cast. It made it 6, maybe longer, but at least 6 seasons.
Yeah, the Don Knotts is a funny old dude. He was just a fun. I don't know anything about it. Like my dad used to watch this.
Yeah, I watched reruns.
And then he would show me Don Knotts, and I'm like, that guy is funny. But then I think he died and was replaced by the Ropers or something.
Wasn't he? I thought he was Mr. Roper.
No,
he's not.
He wasn't on the show?
No.
Okay.
Don Knotts was the landlord,
right.
And then when he replaced, it was the Ropers, which was a different guy and a girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
I always thought he was Mr. Roper.
Did you know
Okay.
that there is a rumor out there that Don Knotts, in his heyday,
Yeah,
slept around with tons of women? Barney Fife.
it just goes to
Barney
show
Fife.
that silly.
I don't even know what that show is.
Yeah,
Andy Griffith?
yeah, you do.
I don't ever watch that.
To me, he's the same character no matter what he's doing. He's always Barney Fife.
Right, yeah.
He's always. It was
Yeah.
Mr. Furley was his name on the show. He was
Okay.
Mr. Furley.
All right, but,
Yeah,
he was
but-
known to be like a ladies' man.
Really?
Like women couldn't get enough of Don Knotts.
Wow.
Barney
Yes,
Fife
I don't
balling.
get it.
That's great.
I mean,
Crazy to me.
no offense to anybody who's on the shorter side, but he was like a very short
And
little man.
Very frail.
Yes, because to me, he's always been old.
Jason, that just shows
That's
how
true.
Yeah.
unrelatable you are to this area. Mount Airy, Mayberry's here. You've never watched Andy
Good
Griffith?
Lord.
Barney
What?
Fife is?
No, I didn't know any of that.
Barney Fife
crazy.
was at Autumn
Autumn Leaves Festival.
Yeah.
Festival.
Yeah. I
Barney
did-
Fife lookalike taking pictures with people.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that was from Mount Airy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, Andy Griffith. I mean, he lived in
Big deal.
Mount Airy. His childhood home's there.
I mean, his
And
picture's painted on every building in Mount Airy.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to go sometime.
Yeah.
To
You don't know about
I
show
don't
you
even know
around.
the show, though.
You don't know
Yeah.
Aunt
That's
B?
crazy.
You don't know about no Aunt B?
I guess he doesn't.
Dang, bro.
Nope.
About Yankees.
All right. Well, in other Hollywood things, Jada Pinkett Smith, we're hearing more and more. It was coming out from her interview with Hoda Kotb. And at one point, Jada talks about something I had never heard. But after the slap heard around the world where Will Smith goes up on stage and slaps Chris Rock, did you guys know that Chris Rock came over to Jada and apologized?
No.
Nobody knew.
What is going on? Now, first of all, I'm really shocked because, mind you, I'm not there. We haven't called each other husband and wife in a long time. But I'm like, what is going on right
keep
now?
my wife's
name out of your
Yes,
mouth,
yes,
right? And I'm
yes.
like,
It's not going to be like, keep my separated weird arrangement. I might be gays. Why?
No, but he didn't have to
lady
do that
friend.
in the
He didn't
first
have to
place, is
do
what
it
he was
at
saying.
all.
No, I know. The
Yeah.
whole thing's bizarre.
but now I'm really worried for Will because I don't know what's going on.
What viewers did not see at the time, while Oscar clips were being shown, was Chris Rock leaning over the stage to talk to Jada.
And Chris looks to me and he says, Jada, I meant no harm. Now, I'm just out of it because I'm really worried about
And
Will.
what's Will doing? He's just sitting there?
And Will's still talking. He's like, because now he's mad because Chris is talking to me. And I go, Chris, this is about some old That's all I could think to say, right? And I couldn't really take in his apology.
How unusual.
This dude gets smacked and
he's-
assaulted, and he's apologizing.
He's the one going over.
That's when you know you're dealing with some toxic people, boy.
For Will, a guy who, I mean, on that kind of stage to do something so insane.
Absolutely.
It's totally
It's
out of
not
character.
him whatsoever.
Interesting.
Wow.
And Jada Pinkett Smith also goes on to talk about how, and Hoda kind of says, in this whole situation, you have been made to be the bad guy. And Jada responds,
You became the bad guy. Look what Jada made him do. Jada rolled her eyes, and look what he did. He ran up there and hit Chris.
Yeah.
Poor Will. That's what the narrative became.
Yeah.
She says that's because 2 years earlier, Jada discussed what she called an entanglement on her show, Red Table Talk.
My honest opinion about that is that narrative had more to do with the false narrative that I helped to create on the Red Table.
So poor Will because of
the adulterous wife.
Yeah.
Who forced him to go to the table and sit there, you know what I mean? And now look at what she's done. She has the power with an eye roll to make him go up and slap somebody on stage.
She doesn't seem any more innocent to me after
No.
what you just said.
No.
But you had this conspiracy theory, Katie, about Will Smith and this whole arrangement, because it is odd arrangement that they were talking as a married couple before that we even knew that they were separated, that she was dating other people, and it was like they had an open marriage.
It's I don't know how or why, except for this is just like what consumes me, is thinking about Hollywood stuff. It's what I think about in my spare time. And I thought, well, maybe, I was shocked to hear that they had been separated and not living together for the past 7 years, because I don't know, weren't you guys shocked? We had no
they
idea.
said that they were separated. It's like, wait, what?
I had no idea.
Everything about
Separate
their
lives.
everything has been very odd, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You're on a TV show right now admitting you were dating other people and Will Smith is okay and you're okay with it. Sounded like an open marriage.
And so it led
And
me to think.
one thing. Why wouldn't she just say right then and there, oh yeah, we are technically separated. That's why.
I don't
because
know.
most normal people are going to be like, that sounds like an open marriage.
Because it's almost like at that point, it's like
the cat's
to
out the
clear
bag.
your name, to not be the adulterous wife, to clear your name, you think that you would say, okay,
And it seems like she has
listen.
no problem sharing every bit of information in her life, and that's her choice to do that, although maybe it sucks for Will Smith. I don't know. But it's like, why are you hiding that part of it? Because this makes you look bad.
So what's
exactly,
your theory
like, why
here?
would you not admit at that moment, like, okay, now
We've been
I'm
separated
looking like the bad
for
person.
a few years, and Will, you agreed. Like
I'm not
people would
being
be
adulterous.
understanding about it. They'd be understanding if they got divorced. I mean, people would understand it.
Maybe. Who knows?
People-
People,
In Hollywood, even now, if people get divorced, I mean, people don't wish it on people, but you would think, okay, we
I
get
guess
it.
we do kind of expect it too.
Yeah.
But anyway, my theory is this, that if they have had this arrangement for the past 7 years or however long it's been going on for them, and we've heard the rumors all along that Will Smith is gay, which I didn't ever think about either. I'd always heard the rumors like Tom Cruise, John Travolta, Will Smith, to name a few. Never really thought about it. But then I thought, well, maybe they do have this arrangement that they're married, they have their family, and then Jada can kind of be like his beard.
Right.
You go off and do whatever you want to do, Will. I can go off and do whatever I'm going to do, but we have this family unit, and I don't know. I mean,
do you
she
think
loves
that-
him enough to...
Do you think that he was married to her and then realized he was gay, and that's what happened?
I don't know.
And then we don't know if that's true or not. But the rumor's been there for a long time.
Yes.
And of course, rumors can come from nothing and be totally false.
But that is my conspiracy
Like John
theories.
Travolta, that was been out there for a long time. And there's been men that have come forward that have claimed at least, they've had relationships with him.
Right.
Like some pilots and different things. But it's interesting. Now, Katie, if you had to choose a side, whose side are you on?
I'm not on anybody's side. I think that when Will Smith walked up and
No,
physically
I'm not talking
assaulted...
about that. I'm just talking about as personalities.
Oh, I don't. It all. First of all, I never thought about them as a couple until this happened. Ever. They were not on my radar. Ever.
Okay.
And then when Will Smith walked up and physically assaulted another human being, that's when he lost for me.
Okay.
Because I don't think that he took responsibility until much later, much too late for his own
he
actions.
definitely took
and
way
I
too long.
do not think that another human being ever can, unless they were already in a physical fight, another person cannot make you do that. I don't care how you blame. They can't.
I mean,
You're
people
responsible
go
for your
to
own
jail
actions.
for instigating things by just saying
You
words.
are responsible.
But how do people go to
for
jail
your
for instigating
actions.
things that they had nothing? They just say stuff.
What do you mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
There's a former president on trial for this, and he instigated riots.
I think that you can
He
instigate.
did, but aren't the people who did it responsible?
Yes.
Well, that's in a different
I do think
context.
so.
But if I said, Jared, you should go hit that person, I'm not going to get in trouble unless you go and hit
No,
that
if you
person.
say, I think you should murder somebody, then, I mean, you can. There's certain things you can instigate.
If you go
crimes.
murder somebody, but if I say to you, Jared, you should hit that guy for doing that, and you hit him, I'm probably not going to get charged.
There's
But I
definitely-
would be more likely to get charged if you actually did it, which Will Smith did.
No, he's ultimately responsible, but to say there's no factor in some sort of relationships where people can cause a situation that's maybe toxic and or
You can-
combustible.
you can- yeah,
that they,
for sure,
they
but-
add to some sort of environment that is more likely to be a negative environment or even a positive one. People can also instigate in a good way.
But they can, but you are ultimately responsible for your actions.
I agree with that.
You,
And she
as
might
a human
be,
being.
she might not be the best personality. She might be a little toxic, whatever. But in this circumstance, it's his fault and his responsibility. He's the one that actually got up in front of an award show and smacked Chris Rock.
Like, he lost his
You don't
mind.
have to do that. I mean,
He lost
he
it.
could be like, that's messed up or anything like that if he wants to show some face to Jada. But for him to actually do all that, that there's something way more than just being instigated.
Yeah.
Well, then everyone that knows him like they said that's not Will Smith. I mean, people have known him for years. That's not what he does. And then I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying as personalities over the course of time, do you favor one or over the other?
No, and I don't. Trying to think of the Will Smith movies. I mean, I watched him on Fresh Prince,
Men
but
in
I don't
Black.
think I've. I mean, I know
Wild
the
Wild
song.
West.
You're
No,
talking about
I know
Will
the
Smith like he's
song.
not some huge star.
I'm not saying. Listen, because I don't agree with you does not mean that you
haven't
get
said
to back
anything.
me into
No,
a
no, but
corner.
you're like-
he is a
you're
huge star.
minimizing- yeah.
Not for me. I mean, I get it. He's
but
a
you get
huge
that he's
star.
one of the biggest stars in the
I
world.
do
yeah.
not go and see his movies. I do not. I know his music.
Yeah.
But I don't. And
But
I
to be
know
fair,
he's
you
a
don't
huge
go to
star.
movies in general, right? You don't see a lot of movies.
I swear, if you
It's
do not agree
context,
with
Katie.
you,
No,
you
I'm
do.
not-
I
have I even said my side?
Agree with me.
No, I'm
You
not.
don't have to say your side. We are all well aware of what your side
I think
is.
Jada Smith is a
We
very
know, we get
toxic
it.
person. I think a lot of people agree with me.
Yeah, we
I
get
would
it.
say-
Will Smith had one bad
Yeah.
moment, and before that was one of the most beloved people in Hollywood.
And what you're saying, and what I'm hearing
I'm just
loud and
if I
clear.
had to choose a side, I prefer Will
we
Smith.
know. And if what I'm hearing loud and clear is that you think that she is the problem because you love to
do.
use that word problem, and
Yeah, I
that
do.
it's like we get
There
it.
are people who are problems in relationships. There are people who are problems in companies. There are people who are problems at schools. Or teachers who are bad, toxic teachers. I mean,
And I also think that
add
in-
to an environment that's negative.
There are people who play the victim all the time and get away with it, and maybe he is because
I don't think he's ever. All he does is talk good about her, and all she
Yeah.
does is trash him publicly.
Well, I
don't
will say
know.
that
I
was what
just-
was so shocking about Will Smith is that I think most of us had a totally different perception of no way that Will Smith could ever do that.
they were putting on a happy front forever and
Yeah.
ever. I never thought about them as a
He
couple.
even on interviews, on movies, and everything he's ever done, he comes across as a real cool, genuine, authentic guy. What I
Until
saw
then.
was like that's what gave such a bad taste because it was so unexpected for somebody with that personality to do that. You know, if it was like somebody else,
Like Kanye.
Yeah, Kanye.
Yeah,
It's almost
you
expected,
expected it, right?
But that was like his perception of what he does and what he represents and stands for. And I get everybody has a bad day. He had a really bad day, and I hope he never does that again. But he was definitely a loved, and hopefully still is, and that was a rare circumstance situation type of a person, if that's what you want to say.
So that's why it kind of leads me to think that maybe this arrangement is that she's covering for him and
Could be.
he's staying for her. You know, it's like
At this point, they just need to get
But-
it out.
but
it seems.
I mean, if you're
but-
going to tell all the other stuff, if you
but he's actively and willingly going on the podcast with her to sit down and talk about it. I don't understand why you subject yourself to it.
Yeah,
don't
That's
either.
what I don't
but
understand.
Also, if you've ever been in a toxic relationship, you agree to things you shouldn't agree to. And I think anyone that's been in one would say that.
But what would be the back? I mean, that's like
Because
her
you're-
going and
you're-
doing.
Yeah, the backlash is the fact that she might be complaining and upset because she looks bad by dating other people, and she's trying to put
you
up
need
this
to
front.
come out, and support
You
me.
got to help do something here because it looks like I'm just an adulteress.
Right.
Right, but if that is the
If you're on your
if
theory,
my
on your
theory
theory, on
is
your
right,
theory.
yes, because then why would you at that point not say, okay, here's the truth?
Yeah,
Because
at
I
that
don't
point,
want to
right?
be the
Yes.
adulteress, like, you know.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
might not want to come out of the closet is what
That's
you're,
also
is what
could
you're
be part
saying.
of it.
Exactly.
That might
He
be
might not
so
want to.
detrimental to him to
If
come.
he is gay, I don't even know.
Yeah, this could be way
it's
off.
just a
but
rumor.
The rumor's been out there for years.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah.
What do y'all think?
I feel like if he's been looking for a reason to get out, this is it. And
Yes.
the fact that she went on the Today Show and said we're working to reconcile,
Yeah,
there's
She
got to
said-
be something else.
She said that they want that she envisions
what?
them living together again.
Quote,
they're
there's
trying to reconcile?
no finding another great love. We are still working to reconcile.
Mm-hmm.
They just and the whole thing is like bad marriage for life. I mean, it's like I don't know, man. It seems like so much damage has been done. But if they're both willing to try, then they're both willing to try.
They are,
Squid, what do you
quote, working hard at bringing our relationship back together.
okay, Squid.
I think it's super deep. I don't think Will's gay. I think it all stems from Jada being in love with Tupac. Will Smith always kind of had a chip on his shoulder because he felt like he needed to fill that role that he couldn't fill, like the bad boy role. And also, I feel like it stems from Will Smith's like probably having abandonment issues from his father because he talked a lot about that. So I feel like he kind of had to chip on the shoulder to A, live up to the bad boy hype that Tupac had because Jada said that was her one true love, and B, he's doing everything to keep her because of his abandonment issues, and he doesn't want to be left by her.
He has said that. That's a good point.
That is a good point.
And there are people now, and also your wife publicly telling the world that her one true love is not your husband.
Yeah, that is
That's
a mistake.
emasculating.
That part is I don't forget the emasculating.
Do you
For
believe people
both
could be
sides,
emasculated though?
Well, sure,
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
But I also think that it's fine for like we do it every once in a while. It happens and it's for a man, but like women can be skanks and whores and whatever, and we just throw those terms out there. And it's like,
No, if a
skank,
man
or,
said, "Oh," if Will Smith said, "Oh, my one true love was somebody else," that's freaking messed up.
Both sides.
Yeah.
Just don't talk about it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Just don't. Nobody wants to hear that. No good comes from that.
You're exactly right.
None.
Stephen A. Smith.
Just keep it to yourself inside.
And let it explode.
Not everything needs to come out.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
She's not on a morning talk
She's
show.
probably saying that, though, because he's dead, so she can't be with him. So she thinks, well, it doesn't matter anymore. You're the next one.
Jason said the darkest meme ever the other day. I
did.
laughed out loud.
It was a good one.
Yeah. But Stephen A. Smith is obviously pro Will Smith.
You want to mess with some dude that's your son's friend, as trifling as that may seem in people's eyes, that's your damn business. You want to break up with your husband and all of this stuff, that's your business. But this public emasculation needs to stop. Jada, all you're doing is elevating the level of vitriol coming your way because it don't matter what you say. There's nothing you can say to a man to justify what you have done to Will Smith. Every time I see Jada Pinkett Smith talk about Will Smith, I cringe. We kings. We kings. We ain't here to be treated.
He knows about the Riz King. He knows
like that. You're queens and you
She's fair. Queens, right?
shouldn't be treated like that either. And I get that. Tell me anywhere, biblically, scripture-wise, in any scripture, where it encourages you to publicize your personal business for profit when it negatively affects your spouse.
He's passionate.
I can't take it. I
passionate.
can't. Like,
I disagree with him a lot, but not on that one. But he is very passionate.
I could not disagree with him more.
You don't think Will Smith's been emasculated?
No, I don't. I think they both signed up for this. We always say all the time. If you are in the spotlight, this is what comes.
I don't think you sign up for a woman publicly saying you're not the love of my life. That's it's emasculating.
No, it is an it is. If I want it to be that, it is that because
you're emasculating me now,
doing
Katie.
fine. She is doing her podcast. She wants listeners. They want people talking about their lives. They want people to tune in. Of course, they're going to say things that are insane. Of course, attention getting. Otherwise, nobody talks about it.
You can do that and also emasculate somebody. You can still do this.
And that's what gets people talking about it.
Right. I'm just saying, do you think he's been emasculated? You said no.
No, I didn't. I said I could see that.
Oh, okay. I thought you said no, he's not.
I could see that. Do I think that she's also getting an unfair shake? Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't like her.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
What?
We've already made that point.
No, I'm just saying, like, she's like an Amber Heard. She's like a Meghan Markle. There's people who just don't like her. And the thing is, I didn't like how Kanye West was with Kim Kardashian. It's not because it's a man and a woman. Put Kanye West in that group. It's like these toxic people that blow up things when they get with people, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, in my opinion, of course.
Yes, of course.